Virtual assistants are not the bottom barrel employees anymore because in today's day and age, not only do we have the fastest and most amount of knowledge accessible all over the world, along with ChatGPT and many other AI platforms, virtual assistants are now part of American culture. They have been working for companies like Apple and Tesla and many other enterprise companies for years, and they are now finally starting to work with small and smaller businesses, whether it's in the Philippines, whether it's in Latin America, whether it's in South Africa. This has already been taking place for many, many years. So not only because of the amount of knowledge that's out there, but now the skill set has improved drastically because they've already been working for many of these companies. Actually, in Latin America and the Philippines, they teach you how to work with American companies, whether you're in school or college, because the ultimate goal for a lot of these people is to become bilingual and then work for an American company, which means when they leave school, they have some sort of skill that will help a business actually be able to, first off, look at them, and second off, hire them, and third off, be able for them to achieve what it is they are trying to achieve. And this is the best part. This is just getting started, and it's only gonna get faster and faster, more and more rapidly as technology and AI improves on a regular basis. A few years ago, ChatGPT didn't even exist, and people had to create and learn many different skill sets on their own. But now they don't have to do that. And one of my favorite things is the amount of people outside the US that are traveling to different places that are bringing in their culture, that are explaining and having these people understand how an American, Canadian, or European culture is like, because one of the hardest things to learn and to become a part of and adapt to is culture. You can always learn skill sets, but culture is very, very hard to adapt to. So now, because so many Americans are traveling to Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, other Europeans as well, culture is infatuated into the day-to-day life of these people on a regular basis. And that's one of my favorite things, because when you hire these people, they are fully aware of what an American culture is like. So when you hire them, they have skill sets, they have the culture, and most importantly, they can come in, they're hungry to do whatever it takes to finally have you win as a company. The difference between a VA and offshore person is that a VA is a beginner person that is looking to start their career. They are maybe right out of school, little to no experience, maybe their English is a little bit broken, and they're okay with starting at maybe even $2 or $3 an hour. Versus an offshore professional has been doing it for many, many years. They are literally a pro at this position. They have been doing this for years. They have gone through the $2 to $3 hour era of their life, but now they're looking to get paid much more. Maybe it's even $6 or $7, up to even $10 per hour. They are a true master at their skill. They have mastered the craft of what it is that needs to be done on a regular basis. They've been there, done that type of work. Okay, an example is someone in the Philippines that just got it started and it's wanting to learn and wanting to understand what it's like to actually work remotely. That's a virtual assistant. They're okay with making $2 to $3 an hour versus a professional in Latin America, let's say. They've been doing this for many years and they're getting paid $6, $7 an hour, but now they have mastered the skill. Now it's time for them to get paid more. They're finally ready to get paid, up to $2,000 a month, if not more, because they have mastered the skill. They're there, their English is there, beyond there, and they're a culture fit because they've spent so much time understanding what American companies are all about. Latinos are Americans in another country because on a regular basis, millions and millions of Americans go to their countries, whether it's Mexico, Colombia, Argentina. There's millions of Americans that go travel, whether it's for a vacation or they're actually moving like myself and become an expat for the community. Why do Latinos become Americans? Because we bring so many people of us where they are, number one, forced to learn English because they cannot talk to us any other way. Two, in order to serve us or work for us, they have to be able to speak English. And three, because they're around us on a regular basis, they literally become Americans. They understand our culture. They're listening to our music. They're speaking English. They love what we do. They even start learning American football, American basketball, American baseball. They get it. They grasp what it is to become an American because they're around Americans every single day. Fun fact, in Medellin, Colombia, last year alone, 5 million visitors, where 80% of them came from America. One of the coolest parts about that is because so many Americans came to Medellin. It's become a hub for entrepreneurs. It's become a hub for business owners. And Latinos have really, really understood what it is like to be around Americans, to become an American himself because of the entertainment, the culture that we bring in, and we're also in the same atmosphere. So many Latinos already grew up listening to Drake, watching the Indianapolis Colts win the Super Bowl, and many other awesome aspects that happen on a regular basis. And this is just getting started, and it's gonna pick up because America is slowly starting to shift out of becoming a dominant empire. The reason businesses need to start hiring Latin America today is, number one, the culture similarities. Latinos just get it. They are infatuated with American culture from a very early age. They are speaking and learning English on a regular basis, again, from an early age, and they are prone and they're looking into working for an American company for a long time. That is something that they're truly passionate about doing. Another reason is because the time zone. It is literally the exact same time zone as it is in Colombia, as it is in Kansas, okay? Another thing is the English, okay? I just mentioned this, but English is very big in Mexico, in Argentina, in Colombia, hell, even in Venezuela. People speak English, and Americans are used to a Spanish accent. Most Americans think a Spanish accent is a Mexican accent. Even though so many Latino countries have their own way of speaking, us Americans have no idea what the difference between accents is. And then last reason is because they are loyal, they work hard, they're gonna show up when you least expect them, and they truly wanna make it happen. They are there to make your company great again. Remote Latinos has mastered the craft of what it's like to recruit, vet, and really understand Latin American culture and Latin American talent in order to place the top A players from Latin America with thriving remote businesses in the US. Because of our vast experience of doing this for almost 5 years and hiring over 2,000 people, majority of them being from Latin America, it has been a game changer. The co-founder is Latin America. 80% of the team is Latin American. And one of the best things that we've done is that we actually live in Latin America. We, as the co-founder, myself, we live in Colombia. We understand what Colombian culture is like. We understand what Colombian people are looking for. And not just Colombia, we have people in Venezuela, in Ecuador, in Argentina, and many other countries, hell, even Guatemala. We understand what they want. Because we understand what they want, we then go to the business owners. And here's the best part, myself and my co-founder, we understand what businesses want because we've had our own businesses before. We work with many, many different businesses out there in the US, and we understand what businesses want. So when you understand what businesses want and you understand what candidates want, we are the ultimate matchmaker for these businesses and these candidates. This is why we have an 80 to 90% match rate where people don't just quit because this is the perfect match. It's literally not gonna get any better for a candidate to work with Remote Latinos because we go through this process. It's seamless, it's not overly complex. And we do the same thing with clients and business owners. We literally present you candidates within 1 week for you to be able to see candidates, skill test them, and then get on interviews where you can hire A players as soon as possible. And if we do not succeed, you get a full refund or you get to replace someone within 3 to 6 months. It is a no-brainer for business owners to work with Remote Latinos. If you want to work with Remote Latinos, you head over to remotelatinos.com, you schedule a call with our team. We're going to find out about you, your business, and your hiring needs. We're going to show you exactly what it is we do, how we've hired over 2,000 people, and then we make it happen by presenting you the best people in the world. Go to remotelatinos.com and schedule your call today.